started? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the session this evening. We will be doing skill 1 of Louis Smith, and we will also be looking at week 1, the sprint week. So how this meeting will flow this evening is that I will do an introduction of Louis, his personal testimony, and I need to put my phone on silent, the personal testimony of Louis, and then I will ask everybody to give a few points where they will find prospects, where they will find and how they will find prospects, just to mention that. And let me just put this phone on silent here. There we go. And then I will ask, oh yeah, it'll be just a few. So if all of us will have to get a chance to say something about the skills 1 and also week 1. Okay, so let me start. But before I start, I just wanted to say, just remembering the birthdays, and that is Gail. Gail's birthday was on Thursday. And just to say, we hope she had a blessed day, to Gail. And today's Molly. So yeah, pleasure, Gail. And you're getting younger, eh? And then it's Marlene Gertz's birthday today. So I just hope someone, some of us wished her, and I'm sure we did.
Judy, can I just come in? Sorry. And it was Lizette's birthday also on Thursday with Gail. They celebrated their birthday together.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Blessings to you. Lizette, blessings to you. Now, you were supposed to remind us, Rashida, if you knew that, because sometimes we need reminders. We don't have a calendar of everybody's birthday. But my birthday will be on the 14th. I must let you know that. I love people to know, when the July people like to be known, we don't like to be ignored. So mine is on the 14th. There's quite a few people's birthdays.
And the June people like to advertise.
Yes, we must, Mano, and then Zukis also, etc. So we must let people know, and then schools always remind us we must wish people privately and not on the groups, otherwise, yeah, it's getting too much. Okay, let's start. Skills 1 of Louis, finding prospects. Okay, so Louis said here that this is the first skill, but it is in the right direction. Then Louis tells his story. He said he was 31 years old, working very hard for a boss that drove him crazy, and was driving through traffic bumper to bumper, and it was very frustrating for him. And he said that he worked away from his wife, kids, and only gets so much leave per year. And he was sick and tired of living like that. And that is when he decided to open his own business. And soon he discovered that his own business, with 200 staff, it was actually worse for him, having to pay his staff and not paying himself. And he said that he was the brokest person he knew, and he was sick and tired of living like that. And someone said to him, Louis, what is your plan to change your life? And he had no plan. The person that gave him an audio plan, it goes like this. How much money do you have in your bank account? And Louis said, he had nothing. As a matter of fact, he said that he was in debt. And he said that it took him years of hard work, but he got nowhere. Louis said he just saw inflation getting worse, and his income was not doing anything for him. And he was tired and wanted to change. He wanted to live his life and get up when he was finished sleeping. Can everybody please just put their mics off? And he spent time with his wife and kids. And he said that he wanted to create a legacy to help others as well. And he got excited about this opportunity when he started. He said that he went to an event where the CEO of the company was on the stage, and he said that this is a business of integrity and honesty and serving and love and encouragement, and do unto others what you would like for yourself. This is a business by taking people by the hand so that they can grow to become better versions of themselves. 35 years in the business of was everything through what the business stands for. And Louis spoke about the great company and how we traveled the world, and he mentioned the countries also. And he said, if he can, so we can. If he can do that, we can as well. And he said, one day he saw a sticker on a car stating, I owe, I owe, I owe. And everybody I knew I owe. And off to work I go. So Louis says skill one is a foundation of your business. He says skill one is finding prospects. So, okay, there is where I'm just going to stop for now. What we will be doing now is just go around, and we will start at the bottom just to mention where would you find prospects. You must tell us where you will find, but just give two so that everybody can get a chance to mention where they will find prospects. We start by Kulsum, and then Sharon Hendricks, Rashida, Lizette. I said Kulsum is twice on here, but it's a phone and a laptop, and then Gail and Russell. Kulsum, you can just mention two, please. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Judy.
Yeah.
Judy, I will say finding prospects, people that I worked with when I was still working, checking on their numbers. So that is one. And then people that I didn't work with, but I had contact with, on my phone. That's another one. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Sharon, can you just mention two places where you will find people to talk to get for your business? Sharon Hendricks, can you just open your mic? Okay, well, you all,
Hi.
yes.
Okay. Hi. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I found prospects in the queue in the shop,
Yes.
and then I also found some talk to people also there in the day hospital. I was there for a appointment, so that is where I found also a few people.
Okay. Yes, thank you for that, Sharon, for mentioning.
Thank you.
Lizette?
Okay.
Lizette?
Yes, good evening, everybody. Where do I find them?
Yeah.
I go to the park in Greenpoint, and I go to the labyrinth, and there's always somebody at the labyrinth, and I always start talking to them. And if I go to a shopping center, last time I went there last week, and the woman who was in a kiosk and selling stuff, she's called me. So I went, I let her do, and then I offered her the opportunity. Nothing happened yet with them, but one I need to carry on contacting her. Or the shop, I also met somebody at the Woolworths cashier, and we've been communicating together. I still have to give her some washing powder. We didn't have a time, so I suppose everywhere. I don't get any fun from my list. I get from the people I meet. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Lizette. Rashida? And then Gail.
Hi, assalamu alaikum, everybody, and good evening, everybody. Okay, where I get my prospects, that I would think it's going to places like maybe the mosque, going to events, like high teas or social events. So those are the two where I will get my prospects from. Thank you, Judith.
Yeah, thank you, Gail.
Hi, Judith. I just got my prospects for the last week because we need to get prospects for this week. I got mine as my bank teller, the bank, not the teller, the consultant, because I had to change my card expired. So I spoke to the consultant, and then I was in the a lifestyle where I was looking at the wall, and another lady actually approached me, and she kept talking and talking, and that is how I also got my other prospects. And then I had a market day on Saturday where I also had a lot of prospects. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Thank you for that, Gail. Fazlin? Fazlin just arrived now, I think. Let's give Russell. Fazlin can think so long. We should get a prospects.
Yeah, thanks,
Russell?
Judy. My favorite places is basically at the mall. If I go to a shop, always the person behind the till, or otherwise, if I find myself looking at the same thing that the customers are looking at, the
Yeah.
customers in a store, then those are my two favorite places of picking up new prospects.
Yeah, I think there's many more, Russell, but I'm restricted everybody now for 2. Fazlin, where do you get your people
Good
that you're
evening,
prospecting?
everybody. Yeah, sorry I was on, but my phone is throwing me out every time. I do
Yes,
have
yes.
a problem with my phone yet, but I see I'm back on. Yeah. Okay. I also, wherever I go, the shops, whether it's at the hospital, just anywhere, I will always take someone's number, get a prospect from there. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
my
Fazlin,
story.
I might come around back to people again. We can also find at sports events when you're on, and especially when you're on vacation, there is a great place to find prospects at vacation. But sometimes we don't even have a phone with us to get the numbers, and we need to catch up with them again. What about the hairdresser, the barber, dentist? It's difficult to get a doctor because the doctors only believe in their medication to keep you sick. Dressmakers, what is this? The baker, the butcher, while you're traveling, family. Okay, there's actually more. On what platforms do you advertised on the media type of thing? Mention where you put your information out there. So, yeah, Kulsum, where do you advertise on the media?
Yes, my status is one,
Okay, just one,
and then
yes, yours.
only one.
Yeah, only one. And then, Sharon, do you advertise on your status or anywhere else? Rashida?
Sorry, I am Judith.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, what? Sure, this grandchild of mine is talking now a lot. Yes, sorry about that now. What was oh, sorry, it's on my WhatsApp status. Sorry about that now.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
confused. You are
Rashida,
welcome. Thank you.
where do you advertise?
I think most of the time I advertise like everybody else on status.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody got something different? Kyle, where do you
Judith,
advertise? Where do you
Judith,
put your...
I also advertise on, I've got a WhatsApp channel, a business
Yeah.
channel. So I
Oh,
WhatsApp,
okay.
yeah. So I put mine there
Oh.
also.
Somebody more interesting than that. Russell, where do you do yours?
Now and then on the social media platforms like become a bit closer
Which
to
one?
like Instagram and Facebook and that kind of thing.
I was
But
waiting
an
for the...
idea that a lot of people can also try is to make a poster and put it at your local shop that has a notice board
Wow.
to say
Yeah.
that you're the local distributor. I think that's a overlooked one because we're in the digital age now, but I've seen how the notice board is actually a extra a thing that we should be thinking about.
It's true. It's not everybody that will use Instagram and TikTok. You get the older people also.
Sorry, Julie,
Um,
can I add something
yeah,
that I
sure.
was thinking of now? A
Mm,
lot of people also from back in the day knew GNLD and Golden products.
yeah.
So I think we must actually make posters that have that also on it. Like, and then you say at the bottom, it's now Neolife and you know, it's the same products and blah, blah, blah. I'm actually going to do something like that for myself, then I'll also share it. But it's a untapped resource.
That is actually very good, Russell, because if a person do that and advertise that way and let them know Golden, because most of them don't know New Life, because it's not like Charlie always say, we didn't touch Cape Town yet. So a lot of people don't know New Life at all. They know more Herbalife than us. So we need to get out there and make our business known, out there. And to do that old-fashioned way by advertising and get permission at certain local shops. That's a very great idea, Russell. For that, thank you for that one. I see we got quite a few people that enter that is on now. Can everybody please mute themselves? Fazlin, Galaxy, Fazlin, please mute. Yeah, please keep yourself muted until we ask a question. Please check if your mic is mute all the time. Okay, so that is great places to advertise, yes. And Russell, I think somewhere you have a summary. If you can do that right at the end, there's a summary of the skill one that you actually have it on all the skills. But if you
I'll
just
share
can
it on the
find,
screen so long while
yeah,
we're talking.
yeah.
Do you want me to do that?
Oh, you can go through. No, you can go through that at the end for us. You must
Oh, okay, no
summarize it.
problem. Okay, will do.
Thank you for that. Okay, so what we will be doing now is there's actually more. We've got separate your list into categories. Now they say you must look at your contact, your list of prospects. So what is your hot list? What is the warm one? What is a cold list? So can anybody tell me, let me just look at somebody that can tell me who is the hot list. I see Ronald is also on. Ronald, is your mic fixed already? Can you talk? Or otherwise, I will just ask somebody else that can mention what is our hot list. Lizette, can you come in there?
Hot list should be the family, the people you know
Yes.
quite well.
Yeah, the brother, the sister, the cousins, close friends.
Yeah.
As people that you know, that is your hot list. Now, what is a cold? Can somebody tell me what is a cold list? Anybody?
Hi, Judith. Your cold list is the people you don't know that you meet for the first time. And those
Yeah.
are the people that will either be a customer or they will be a distributor.
That's right. They said, yeah, keep building relationships with that cold list and trust, love them, be a friend to them, and slowly get them closer. You might hardly know them. You will find them on social media, on your status, that type of thing. But yes, that is the cold list. Is it a warm one as well, Gail?
The warm one is actually your close friends and your family.
Yes.
I put that under my warm list.
That is right. They said you must be gentle with them, build a relationship, also trust, friendship, as people you met on holiday, people you met 2 or 3 times, or you need to start phoning them. Yeah, so it is that type of people that you put on the warm list. And that is nice for our new people to know that there is a hot list, there's a warm one, and there's a cold list, but they must know in which category they fall into. So, if we can just go over to our, I think this is the next half an hour. If Gail, if you can just please do this for me, and this is what you are doing always very well, and I hope you've got your week 1 guide there, the guide that you can look at, that is sprint week, the 4th week activity. If you can just read through there what we need to have put in place for week 1, and then also just mention what you have done after closing of business day last week. Thank you, Gail.
Hi, Judy. Thank you for that. Okay, week 1 is the sprint week. So I consider this week of high energy and activity to get maximum momentum into your business at the start of the month already. So what I've done is, okay, so week 1, say you start by setting your targets for the month. And I did it now for the last few months. I've closed my month in on the 1st. When it's month in on the 31st, then I still go over to the 1st, but I close my month in my on the 1st. Whether I've reached my target or not, I close my month because my month start. Everybody knows in their month where when is the high activity in your month. So my high activity in my month is the 1st week of the month. So that is where I start. So my target are set when it comes to the 1st of the month. So you start by setting your targets for the month. So and then this month I will qualify, and then you must put your title because that the target sheet that Hazel has given us tell us what it says. Ask what is your title gonna be according to your your target that you have set. So that is where it comes to this month, what you're going to qualify, how much your PV will going to be, and you will use how much will you personally new distributors will you personally sponsor. So you need to put in there how much will you do a 3 and 30 or will you do a only 1 or 2. And I am running to qualify for the following incentives. So there's so many incentives that is set. So there's the incentive of the retail challenge that is also taking place now at the end of this month. There is incentive of the 3 and 30. There is so many incentives that you can do. So you need to put it down so that you can plan your month for that. So this is very important. So start by setting your targets for the month is very important. That is your planning for the month. Because without your planning, you won't achieve. Believe me, you won't achieve where you want to go, or you've got no direction. And then it says here, this is a week of high energy and activity to get maximum momentum into your business at the start of the month. So the key activities is follow up leads and prospects from the previous month. Use the first week to follow up. The purpose of this activity is to add new customers and personally sponsor new distributors. Your goal is to commit at least 1 dedicated hour per day to following up. So what I have also done is I set myself a target where I add new names to my distributor list. So in the day number 1, I had 2. Day number 3, I had 1. Day number 4, I had 3. Because my goal is to have 5 new per day. So this week coming is the follow-up week. So that I will work on. So when I finish with the first week, I at least have 10 to 20 new names. You're supposed to have, if you're going to do new names for 5 days, for the first 5 days of the week, and your target is 5, you will have at least 25 to 30 names the next week to follow up. And at least out of that 25 and 30 names, you will have 1 or 2 prospects, either a customer or either a startup. Okay. And then number 2 is follow up with your new distributors. As Hazel has always said, you need to connect with your new distributors and help them set targets for the month and place their first orders for this month. I've already did one-on-ones with my new distributors so that I can see where they are going. I've given them what Russell has given, the why. So you cannot set your target for the month if you haven't spoken to your distributors, if you haven't done your one-on-one, because your target depends on those of your team. Okay, so that is what I've done. So number 3 is work your name list and set up presentations. This involves meeting new prospects that can be added to your name list and filling your diary by making appointments, inviting to present your product and opportunity. And we had our first presentation in the first week or so on Saturday. Okay, number 4 is follow up with inactive customers and distributors. Reach out to customers and distributors who have not ordered in the last 30 to 90 days and help them to get back onto the products. Now, what I do is on a Monday, it's my phoning day. So my distributors know I phone them on a Monday. So whether you just joined start up uh, um, because you wanted the products on a 20% less, I will keep you accountable for that, because it's no use you're gonna start up with a kit to get the products on a 20% less, and you don't buy any products for the months in the future months. You only bought products for that month and nothing anymore. So I keep you accountable for what you have said to me on your why. That is why, Russell, that why is very important, and thank you for that. Okay. So your pro tips: by the end of the week 1, you should have 100 personal PV. So my week 1 is now on Monday. I do have my 100 personal PV, but not yet showing on my back office, but I send it through the weekend. So it will only show I didn't send it through on my back office. I send it through on the WhatsApp. So it will only reflect on Monday. But if you do it on your back office, it will reflect immediately. So your key activities for leaders: work with your business builders and help them to get off to a fast start in week 1 by engaging in the above activities. You don't have to work with everybody. It's only your business builders. It's only those that want to do the business. So identify in your team which is your business builders. Is there 3? Is there 2? Is there 4? Even if there's 1, work only with that one so that you can go down in depth. Thank you, Judy. That is from me.
Gail, thank you for that. I couldn't have said it better than that. Actually, it's very clear for everybody tonight on here. It was done simply and very clear. So we all understood, and thank you for all that inputs that you have made. Thanks so much, Gail. Kulsum, I see you had a very good startup first week. Can you also share how you did that, Kulsum? Thank you.
Oh, Judy, I have 2 phones on, so I just had to switch off the one. because I'm running around and the one phone is giving problems. Sorry, not the phone, the laptop. Yes, Judy. You know what? I've just decided. You have your own orders that you know you're gonna buy. I mean, you're gonna yes, through the business, you're gonna buy your own products, so you know you will have your 100 PV. But I just thought that's not the way to work, because if I think of um, the people higher up in the business, by the first week they have, like, I'm not talking about us locals now. I'll say us locals here on ground level, on ground level. Those people have 1,000 PV already. Like I heard once Hansi and that other lady, ek kan nie by haar naam kom nou nie. But they have, so that they can now start working with the teams, with the people down below. Now, if you have on your mind that you still need to battle to get your 100 in, then it takes your mind off. And I thought that I must try and do that. Get your orders in, because you in any case going to buy something for, for yourself. So this time around, I just had a good start because it was month end, and I needed to replace products. So it was a good start, but I think for now I would like to stick to that in my first week, my 100 must be full. Unless I have a real reason why not. So that is why I have over my 100, Judy. It wasn't really, it was just planned so that I could do my most important products, but then my most important products were quite a few. So that's that. And your first week is your sprint week, because you have no guarantee. And that is what I have discovered in my life. I have no guarantee who's going to die, who's going to get sick, what's going to happen to me along the way. I cannot think I have the rest of the month. If I want to build my business, I need to have serious talks with myself, because this is not a by the way business for me. This is a business that I want to be serious in, and I want to build it because I have a why. So from now onwards, I trust that I'm going to stick to my word, that I'm not going to wait for next week. And I'm not going to, if I plan what I'm going to do this week, day 1, day 2, till day 7, then if day 1 happened the way I planned it, that's a plus for me. But if day 1 did not happen, because life happens all the time, if I plan to phone 5 people and I only phoned 3, then tomorrow I cannot say I'm going to phone 5. I need to fill it up with that extra 2 that I didn't do today. So I need to try and push for 7. If I don't reach it, like Lazel always say, you don't have a boss taking off your wages tomorrow, but you are going to hold yourself accountable for that. But you're not going to, because life happens. You had to go to the janaza. Somebody was sick in the family. One of the children needed you to help out. So life will happen. But at least I am thinking ahead. I'm not stuck on, okay, today is the 5th. I still have 25 days. I may only have another 5 days. So yes, a good start. Thank you very much, Judy, for picking it up as an
Yeah.
upline. It shows you are much aware of what I'm doing. Thank you.
Yes, I thought to myself, Kulsum, that is a very good start, because if you can get your 100 and more PVs in within that first week, then it just attract more PVs. You will just get
Yes.
more, more is coming, because 100 is there, and definitely, I mean, the month is still ahead, so you will get much more PV coming, and you've got the 100 plus out of the way already. That is very, very well done. Okay, I will ask Lizette and then Rashida before Russell will do the summary of Louis week 1 or skill 1, yeah. Lizette, how did you manage to do last week, your week? short week?
The end of the month is very busy for me. So I put a very big order for June. So July is a little bit slow now. It's always slow in the beginning. Also, I had a very challenging week, so I didn't really focus on my business as such. And but it's always come back. I mean, I'm not worried about doing my 100 point. I know that I need some 6 Super 10, 6 LDC. So that's going to give me already 120 points. So I'm just have to have the money to buy the stock. It's always a little bit challenging in the beginning because you never know what's going to happen in a month. Today I went to a market and I'm expecting an order from a very good customer that I met there. And then another customer as well who used to buy a lot of Super 10 for the business, like 25 liters. So I met her today as well. And let's see if she's going to give me another order. But I also mentioned the supplements this time. So I'm going to give her an order or give her an idea of what she should take to lose weight. So, beginning for me is always a bit catastrophical because I never know where am I going to go. I would like to reach my 3,000 points this month. And I would like definitely to get at least one new downline. And then I must look after my downline as well. So let's see what's happening next week. But this week, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do. What point I'm going to put in a warehouse. I'll do that tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Lizette. You just speak it, you say it already that you want to achieve your 3,000 plus. So you just keep on focusing on that and put in like you always do the effort. Yeah, thank you, Lizette. Rashida, just a quick thingy how you started off. Just breaking the ice there. Just getting to the 100 PVs. Thank you, Rashida.
Okay, Judy, when I was listening to Gail, the plan is very important. If you don't do your plan. And I have failed in that for the past 5 months. And I haven't really been successful in my business because I didn't have a plan. But I started again this month with my plan. And I've got almost half of my PV in. My 100 PV will be in by Tuesday because I've got the orders that need to be placed. So that is a good start. I always try to have my 100 PV in my first week, if I don't have any challenges. But the plan is of utmost importance, whether you have downlines or if you don't have downlines. That plan, knowing where you're going, setting yourself a target for what your PV is going to be for your personal PV, and then working through your plan with your downlines. That is for me of utmost importance because I've seen in the past when I never had a plan, I failed. If I have a plan, I'm successful. So really, people, if you don't know how to do a plan yet for yourself, please ask so that you can be assisted because your plan is really going to make you see the bigger picture and know that you're going to strive towards. And I put myself my target and want to qualify in my status this month. Because the last time I qualified, it was in January. And that's why I say because I went away and I never got back onto, starting the way I finished off in January. So really this month, I've already I already given my plan. My plan is already there, and I started out and like Gail, my end of month end at the end of the month. My first for the few months start on the first of the new month. And that is how I do my business. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Rashida. What you actually said now for everybody is that you need to write your plan down. You need to write your goals, your dreams. You need to write it down. If it's not written down, it's just a wish. So if you write it down, it can become a reality. So that is what you have emphasized. You put the emphasis on that. And you know what? We all should just grab that and do it. Put pen to paper and see and trust God in the process. Okay, thank you so much for that, Rashida. Russell, are you ready for us to just read through those? There we go. Can you just read the points down for us, please, Russell?
Sure, thanks, Judith. How old do you read me at the moment?
Sorry?
Sorry, that's work talk. Can you hear me clearly?
Clearly, clear.
I was just thinking now, before I start with this, Rashida was talking about if you don't know how to do the plan yet. And you know, when I started the business, I took a long time to learn how to do the plan. I started out just copying whoever was doing the plan. It was usually Monday night training, and I'd copy Uncle Charles doing the plan. Every single Monday I'll write down exactly what he says, exactly how he draws it on the board. That by the time it came for me to actually do the plan, it was almost like it was a thing that I was used to copying the whole time, so I knew it. And it only years later that I really became comfortable doing it just at the drop of a hat kind of thing, by just doing it over and over. And so it is repetition. That is my main sort of point. But also, I want to do a clip soon where I'm going to do the updated plan, and I'm probably going to have to do it again when the prices change, because the kit prices will change. And then I also want to do a short one, because I'm going to simplify it for anybody who hasn't done the plan yet. It's basically 3 things that you're going to do every time you do the plan. Now, this is like a very bird's eye view of everything. The first thing is you're going to describe a problem. And the problem starts with everything from your dreams to the petrol price to Eskom to AI taking the jobs to the economy to whatever whatever the flavor of the day is. If you follow the news, you hear just bad news. Listen out for anything that refers to something that affects your pocket. And that will be the first thing that you speak about that ties into the dreams that people have. And the dreams will obviously be like, new house, going on holiday, more time and that sort of thing. And then the second thing is going to be the near life solution to it, which is now the actual circles that you will have to spend time actually memorizing, or just get the page with the circles on so you can read from the page. There's nothing wrong with that. And then the final thing is just in terms of results and experience or expectation for the future. So those are 3 things that I think is very important, or the basics as building the plan is concerned. So going to skill 1 now, finding
Russell, sorry that I just interrupt with you. I'm talking about our monthly personal plan for your business, for your team. I was talking about my plan. You know, what my personal PV is going to be, what is my downline PV is going to be, what is my group PV going to be at the end of the month. That is what. So if I set myself a target for 2,000 PV, I need to say for my group PV, then I need to say, okay, I'm going to do like I put for myself for this month. I said, I want to do a personal PV of 250. That is for me.
Yeah.
So
I think we must do sorry, Rashid, I think we must do that also as a separate training, because that is people do get confused with it, and I myself was confused with it for a long time also, especially with the structure. That word confused me to no end.
Yeah, so that's why I said if people don't know, they can ask, and then I mean it also took me a while for me to get the grip of that plan, the grasp of that plan. So that is something that we really need to focus on.
Training soon, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks for that. Okay, so you got the other kind of a plan for free then. Let me talk about skill 1 quickly, finding prospects. And if anybody has any comments on the points, because this is just a summary of what was said in that skill. So first it says compile a comprehensive list of contacts. And if you've heard about the memory joggers from point 2, to identify prospects, I always think of it, I was explaining to someone in the bus from Bloemfontein like this: if you think of where you were born, now obviously when you were born you won't remember who you knew then, but like from the point where you're in primary school, high school, your first memories of when you were alive, who did you know in that place, wherever it was? For example, I'll tell my story from the start and give you an example what I mean by this, because it's important. I grew up in Strandfontein, so when I was born, I grew up in Strandfontein till about grade 2 or so. And so I went to Strandfontein Primary, and obviously I must now think of who were the students there. Most likely a lot of the teachers are maybe very old or passed on already, but who were the students that I remember then? My neighbors, cousins, aunties, uncles that I interacted with then that I maybe don't now. And then after that we moved to Pretoria, and in Pretoria we moved around a bit. And in Pretoria, the CBD, we stayed there for a month. Then we moved to the flats where I knew, had certain friends in the flats in Voortrechtgehoogte. Then we moved to Rooieskraal, to our own place where I moved to high school there. So I was in primary school and high school in Pretoria as well. Who did I remember there? Maybe there's some teachers from that time of my life that's still around now that I can reach out to, search for them on Facebook or wherever. And then moving back to Cape Town again, we lived in everywhere from Fish Hoek to Tokai to Simonstown to North Pine, back to Para North, and now to Kraaifontein. And all the different jobs I've had as well. Somebody was speaking about, I think it was Gail earlier on, about, the people at work, or was it Rashida, one of the two. Who do you remember from your first job, your second job, your third job? All of those people. So the memory jogger is just from location alone, you can get a lot of people. And yes, it's nice to connect to new people in the mall and that sort of thing, and to social gatherings and that, but don't forget about the older people also, that you're not going to phone them up or get hold of them and tell them, listen, I'm contacting you about Neolife. You're just going to catch up. Give it a month if you must, to catch up to who they are and how and that sort of thing, because most likely people changed. But you want to build that relationship first, and then when the opportunity arises, and the opportunity is them mentioning the need or the problem that they're having, that you have the solution to. So it says connect with people from various events and interests. That was what we were speaking about earlier, going to social events, the Haitis. In my case, I will go to play like fives, soccer at different places. Maybe I'll talk to someone and find out they also play soccer, and then ask them if I can be invited to play with them one day. And so I'll meet basically 9 other people I didn't know before, just like that. So you get into these new networks basically, and it's network marketing for a reason, if in case you missed that link. We call it network marketing because you need to network, and you network by not just networking with one person, but networking with the network that they have. So if you go to any events like a business talk or something, and it's a networking event, then you're not just getting the numbers of the people that are there, you're getting the numbers of people that they know, or you're getting exposed to their network. And that's what the next point says: meet new people regularly to expand your network. You're expanding your network into theirs, or expanding your network to gain new networks. And this whole concept of going through the doors, that I think Jerry Brasfield was the first that said it, and now it's become a buzzword in our industry, or in our sphere or space as well. Expand your network and go through the doors. It's the same concept. Don't forget the network that person that you brought into the business has. And like Hazel always says, go through the door and deal with those people as if they're your prospects. Look after them as if they are your prospects and your downlines. It says they introduce yourself genuinely and express interest. And I think it needs to be like a phased approach. Your first phase must always be get to know the person, and think of form, the family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Think of that, or the 5 whys as Gail mentioned. Go into it trying to get to know them. The 5 whys is an awesome thing. I don't know how you would make that as a game to somebody without it being part of, a one-on-one. But maybe just randomly asking the person in a conversation and tell them you're feeling a bit philosophical or whatever, and ask them, have you ever, one of my favorite questions these days, have you ever thought of starting your own business? I remember, I think Charlie was the first person I heard, either Charlie or Uncle Charles, one of the two. It was one of the Charles. that said, have you ever thought of starting your own business? And that opens up basically every door you need to find out more about from building a business or that person point of view. It says be positive, approachable, and add value to others. Now the positive and approachable part, I think there's one thing that makes it really simple, and it's the starting point. And for me, that's normally an introvert. When I walk around, it's something that I forget oftentimes is just to smile. He always tells us this. Just smile. When you look at someone and they look back at you, just smile and greet them or whatever. And you will easily be able to judge whether that person is approachable themselves or if they're closed up. And maybe they don't want to talk to strangers or whatever. But don't be strange in that case. Categorize contacts into hot, warm, and cold lists. I think we've spoken about that today, so I'll skip that one. Prioritize reaching out to close friends and family first. I think this point over here is more so to get the practice with the people who will forgive mistakes. And then build rapport with acquaintances before introducing your opportunity. That's what I was just mentioning now. The whole idea of form and getting to know the person. What drives them? What are they after? Do they actually have a need? You're not going to run to them with a product if they don't need that product. And I mean, most of our products people need, but what is their most pressing need now? And you're only going to find that out by building that rapport and building the relationship. So one thing that we must remember to say this in training, in my opinion, as often as possible, because I didn't get this at first. And when I say at first, I mean after years of training, I still didn't get this. That when you speak to someone about themselves, when I speak to Rashida, if Rashida is my prospect, and I speak to Rashida about who is Rashida, what does she enjoy doing, and I know, okay, is she married, does she have kids, or this and that, all those form things. If I'm speaking to her about those things and I never mention the product or the business, I'm still doing the business. That for me was, for some reason it didn't click until somebody said it in so many words, that when you're talking to someone about them and finding out about them, you are doing the business. Just because you didn't mention product or business doesn't mean you mustn't record what you spoke to them about if it has anything to do with a need that they have in terms of money or health. Because those are the two spaces that we operate in really, money and health. Gradually engage with less familiar contacts over time. I think that one speaks for itself. Utilize social media platforms to connect with prospects. That's a training in itself. Go through Fraser Brooks training on YouTube. You ask any of your uplines that have been involved in training for a while, they'll know how to refer you or how to get you to those videos. So just ask your upline. Engage with followers by sharing valuable content. We can maybe touch on this just a little bit because it touches on the social media thing a lot, but it's also a WhatsApp status thing. And what does that actually mean? What is valuable content? So I don't want to see a ShopRite flyer every time when I go onto someone's WhatsApp status. What do I mean by that is I don't want to see an advert for the products every time. That advert must be positioned in such a way that it tells me that if I have this problem, this is good for me. Otherwise, it's irrelevant to me, right? So valuable content means valuable to the person reading it, not valuable to you that's posting it. So think about the people that are reading your posts, and does it say there what is the benefits? A lot of the new posts that people are doing with AI do actually do this very well because AI is getting really good at this. But make sure that your posters that you put on WhatsApp statuses or on social media explain what is the benefit to the person reading it, right? It will help with your blood pressure. It will help with struggling to sleep, with insomnia, or it will help with XYZ. Not just here's the product, here's what it costs, because that's not actually gonna, unless the person has had prior experience with that or they know the product, that's not going to be valuable to them. So we want to make sure that all 40 odd people that view your status actually know what you're talking about. They didn't just see it because it's pretty colors and stuff. And we're saying now use tools like Zoom for remote connections. I can say that use tools like Zoom, use tools like WhatsApp. WhatsApp can be just as useful as Zoom, guys. It's something that we are just getting started with in our business from Mind Chantal's point of view. But you can share your screen on WhatsApp. You can have X amount of people on WhatsApp. And even just a normal phone call, the three-way calls, you can take Zoom out here and just say three-way calls, whether it's Zoom, WhatsApp, phone calls, whatever. Facebook, Google, all of the different platforms. Just three-way calls is your go-to for everything, basically. If you're not doing three-way calls, you are leaving money on the table. Continuously update and expand your prospect list. I think we've covered that on the top of this list. And then focus on building genuine relationships and serving others. That is the core of what I was trying to explain previously about what is their need. And then there's one point right at the bottom before I end off. And then Judy, you can close for me as well. The moment you blame something or someone else for your lack of success or achievement, in that moment you take yourself out of control of your life. Now you can't be happy or successful unless something or someone else changes. So if I say it in the opposite way, the moment it isn't until you take accountability for your own success that you actually start to have control of your life, for as much control as you can have in this day and age. And then you will actually find that you are successful, you are happy for other people's success, and that things can change because you are changing. Thank you, Judy. You can take it from there.
Yeah. Thank you, Russell, for summarizing skill 1 in the way you do. Because what you just did is you broke up some of that nuggets in there. You know, all that the points, you broke it up and you just made it simple and you clarified for us. You are a real trainer. I must say you are real. And who would believe that you were an introvert? Never, Russell, never. You were never an introvert, man.
It was only through Neolife that I changed that, or through our trainings, because I didn't start out being this comfortable.
I actually believe that. I actually believe what you're saying, that you were an introvert, because I could see that in my husband. They have changed a lot. I know how he was before and how he's now, and it is because of Neolife. And I think each one of us can say that, you know, that we were and where we are now, we have really grown into. But you did that very well. Thank you. And I think for all the skills, this was skill 1. So for all the skills, I know you've got the summary, and to do that, we'll just summarize it beautifully, you know, round it off nicely. So I thank you for making this training session a success, all of you that were on the meeting tonight. And I just want to end off with Russell, there you get all your applause. The announcement, I just want to make 2 announcements, and the one is the Rico Brown. Remember, Rico Brown is coming to Cape Town on the 15th of July, and he will be at the Southern Sun Hotel in Newlands at 6:30 on Wednesday evening. That is on a Wednesday evening during the week. So it is definitely on the south side. So we're benefiting for that one. And then also remember the rally. The rally will be happening next Saturday. And please let us try and invite people, because it will be a good rally when Valen Charles is responsible for the rally, and it will be definitely a good one for all of us. So let us just put effort in for Saturday and be there and bring somebody with. Yeah, and thank you everybody for this beautiful session. And I know that all of us have learned something. We really have learned something that we can apply for this week. Thank you. I don't want to mention names, but you know who you are. And I'm really grateful for all the inputs that for tonight's session. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you.